We are so excited to invite you to join us today on our very special Happy Father's Day project. Regardless of one's race, gender, and class, the role of a father remains the same universally. That is the message we wanted to share, that we are more in common than we are indifferent. So sit back and enjoy Happy Father's Day.
Walk a little slower, Daddy, said a little child so small. I'm following in your footsteps and I don't want to fall. Sometimes your steps are very fast, sometimes they are hard to see. So walk a little slower, Daddy, for you are leading me. Someday when I'm all grown up, you're what I want to be. Then I will have a little child who will want to follow me. And I would want to lead just right and know that I was true. So walk a little slower, Daddy, for I must follow you.
Setting an example of hard work, of discipline, of respect, and making sure that you're compassionate and kind to each other.
My dad, Curtis Hall, was an incredible dad. He taught myself, my brother, my sister the importance of having integrity and also the importance of treating people well and treating people with respect.
One of the things that being a father has taught me really is patience and understanding. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes and being able to empathize with other people.
He had such an influence of care and sacrifice. And that's the thing about fathers, you know, they work so hard, no matter what background they come from, no matter what race, what ethnicity, they care about taking care of their family.
Be yourself. Be who you are. Don't try to live up to anybody else's expectations. Your children love you no matter what, no matter how well or poorly you may think you do.
I think it's important, of trying to instill a spirit of caring and compassion with my children, to be mindful of people, how they interact, to aspire.
Just the fact that we went hunting and fishing and we did all these activities together, they were really opportunities for me to learn how to really be a father, how to interact and talk about happy subjects, tough subjects, and sometimes, some subjects that were disagreeable for both of us.
Hello everyone, my name is Vivian Chan. I am the current president of the Pasadena City College Parent, Teacher, and Student Association. Today I'm so excited that we have a very special guest from Pasadena, Dr. Robert Miller. He is the president and the chairman of the Tournament of Roses. Okay, Dr. Miller, I'm so glad you can join us today. Well, today our project is about Happy Father's Day. Now, I know regardless our gender, race, and I would call class, I think the role of the father remains the same universally, right? So I really wanted to know about what is your take on father, and later on we can have more discussion. But first of all, tell us how many kids you have, or do you have any grandchildren, Dr. Miller?
Thank you. Well, it's a real pleasure to be here with you, Vivian, today, and I'm honored to be part of this video. I'm proud to say that my wife and I have been married 45 years, and so we have a 40-year-old son who is married to our incredible daughter-in-law. They have two children, a boy and a girl, who are 7 and 4. And then we're also blessed to have a daughter who is 37, married to a great son-in-law. And they have 2 little boys, soon to be 6 and just turned 3. So we are blessed with 4 incredible grandkids and 2 amazing children and great son-in-law and daughter-in-law.
Wow, that is quite an accomplishment, huh? Well, then the first question I wanted to ask you, when you're growing up as a child, what is your role of your father have impacted you and how that shaped you as when you grow up and within your character?
Well, there's several things when I think about my dad. One, he had an amazing work ethic, and as a result of that, we actually didn't see him a whole lot because he was constantly providing for the family, constantly taking care of other people. He had a great career in television as an audio engineer for CBS and ABC. But the things that I remember most about my dad is character, honesty, integrity, and an immense caring for people, even at his own expense. He took care of people. So obviously he took care of my mom and my sister and my brother and I, but he also took care of people. So I learned a great deal about how you need to take care of your fellow man and woman, if you will, and he was just a very, very decent man, and I miss him greatly. He passed away at a young age, and I miss him greatly, but I think about him almost every day.
Well, I can really see what a wonderful father that has impacted you as you're growing up. Well, then again, play forward, when you marry and have your own children, then you become a father. What is it like, and has that, once you have that father experience, has it changed your thinking about a role of a father?
Well, one of the things that it did change my thinking on almost immediately was on career choice. I actually started out moving into television production and actually was relatively successful at it at a very young age. And I had to make a decision at that point, having recently gotten married and knowing that we were going to have a family, was I going to do the same thing to my family and not be around as much as I needed to be? And the answer was no. And so I chose a different career path and ended up in higher education. And thank God did reasonably well in that as well. So what was important to me was to mirror my father's great attributes from integrity, for character, for caring, and for taking care of others, but to make sure that I first maintain my responsibilities as a husband and as a father to my own kids, and tried to still instill within them the character, the integrity, the honesty, and the caring parts that my dad was so amazing at.
Well, yeah, I know that you, in your career path, you are really a Pasadena native. We all know that from growing up in the area, become and work at the Pasadena City College, move on and become at one time the interim superintendent for the college.
Actually, was a vice chancellor for finance and resource development for the LA Community College District, which has got 9 colleges, and it was a great way for me to end my higher education career. Although I'm doing consulting and other things right now, but in terms of full time, I retired from LA in December of 2019.
Yeah, and then you have this one very special job that nobody envy, but everybody wants.
Right.
They really wanted the title, but not necessarily the work.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that job?
Well, I have been blessed to be a member of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association for 38 years. I have been fortunate and was able to experience an amazing array of experiences throughout my tournament career, and along the way I was able to get promoted. And long story short, I was named to the executive committee roughly 8-9 years ago, and once you're named to the executive committee in a normal year, of which this obviously is not a normal year, you ascend to the presidency 8 years later. There's a line that I heard during the pandemic, which is, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plan. My plan was to retire in December 31st of 2019 and then become the chairman of the board and president of the Tournament of Roses Association, and did that for 2 months, and then the pandemic hit, and then I was engaged quite 12-14 hours a day, at least through the following August, trying to help the organization get through those difficult times. The association was very kind to me and to my wife and to many others, and they named me the president for a second year. So we did not have a parade and game, as many people know, on January 1 of 2021. We will have a game and parade on January 1 of 2022, and I and my wife will be presiding over that parade.
Wow. Well, then what is the theme? Is it the same? You want to remain, and what are the extra?
So the theme is dream, believe, achieve. If you have a dream and you believe in your ability to make that dream come true and believe in the ability to have other people help you, you can achieve just about anything. And the subtext, if you will, is celebrating education. Education is such an important part of my life and my family's life professionally. And education as a tool of social justice is so critical as an example. All ships can get to safe harbor. We can lift people out of illiteracy and of poverty. We can educate for people for generations to come through quality education and in a big way through quality public education. This year, because of the pandemic and what we've experienced, we're also going to be celebrating strength and perseverance, science and scientists who got us out of this by creating the vaccines, essential workers, healthcare workers, all of the folks that we need, EMTs, frontline responders. These are the people that helped us get through the last 15, 16 months. So the parade is going to be a combination of dream, believe, achieve, celebrating education, and there's going to be a significant element that's going to be celebrating all of those people who dreamed, who believed and achieved, who got us through the pandemic, through the vaccinations, and then helped us survive this very, very difficult period of time.
Will you take that same theme to go forward and want your children to have the dream and to have the belief, yes, right? Yeah. So what would you want to say to your children, or what would you thinking of instilling the intrinsic value of a father into your next generation?
I think what I want to share with my kids and what I try to do, and I always remember, everybody who's a parent knows that they're a parent forever. Doesn't matter how old your kids are. As a mom, as a dad, you always want to take care of your kids. So what I want to do is I want to model the best of myself and the worst of myself, so that they can create their own behaviors in terms of how they support their own children and what they model for them. I want them to maintain the attributes of character and integrity and strength and perseverance. I want them to be productive members of society. I want them to be of service. And I hope and I believe that my wife and I have instilled many of those attributes within them. They're great young people, and they're, much more importantly, they're wonderful parents. And in many respects, even better than I was, because I am a workaholic, and even though I was home, I did work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And my kids work really hard too, but at the same time, they also make time for their kids, as I did, but it's a little bit different.
Working family,
exactly,
for sure.
Absolutely. A lot of work ethic.
Well, we appreciate that because of all your public service. The world definitely is a better place, particularly in education. What is that one last closing remark you wanted to share with all the fathers out there?
Just remember that you are a dad. Just remember that your kids need you. Even when they don't need you, they need you. Even when they're going through a very difficult period in their life, or you perceive that they are. You just have to understand that there's a lot of challenges for young people today, and what they need from you more than anything else is love, and they need someone to care about them. So any dad who's a dad understands that. But I always try to remind people of that when given the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Dr. Miller. It has been a pleasure for you to spend some time with us. We are looking forward to 2022, January the 1st, down Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena, to see once again the iconic Rose Parade that over, 10 million people all over the world?
The Rose Parade is viewed by 35 to 40 million people domestically, and another typically 15 to 25 million internationally.
And how many countries?
Oh, that's a good question. I think at last count it was upwards of 20-something countries, but I don't know that number exactly.
Well, nevertheless, that is one event on January the 1st you don't want to miss. And we really thank you to spend time with us today, Dr. Miller. We all gonna say Happy Father's Day to our audience?
Absolutely. First of all, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here. So thank you. So
Thank you.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy Father's
Day. Mwah.